Hey there everybody, Paizen here, and I wanted to do this video dedicated to the Nintendo 64, which, goodness gracious, earlier this week it turned 30 years old. Oh buddy, you are quite old now, you have aged, for better or for worse. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about the games that I've collected over the years, and just talk about some of the memories, some of my thoughts of the N64, just to celebrate its anniversary. I already did like a DS 20th anniversary list video, so I guess I'll throw in my top 5 N64 games on here near the end or something as well, or as I go along. Okay, so let's start with the top here. We have Knockout 64. This is a game that I used to hold very highly, but over the years I've kind of soured on it a little bit from what I remember. I've never actually fully beaten it. I was very close, but then the save battery died on this. So one day, now that I got added to NSO, I could probably just play it through there. Mission Impossible. I don't remember much about this one except there was like one of the cutscenes before a mission has like this briefcase and it was gonna explode. It's like, oh god, it's gonna explode, and then it does like this little. I used to think it was the funniest thing ever. We have a Bug's Life. Very cool game. I never actually beat this because it's actually kind of tough for me as a kid, but yeah, I should probably go around to beating this one day. Pretty cool game though. We have Ace Combat. Got this for like $8. Air Army Man. Air Combat. I haven't actually played these. I have another Army Man game I think somewhere in this pile, but yeah, I never really tried these out. I probably should at some point. We have Rayman 2 Great Escape. I don't actually remember where I got this. It might have been some retro game store, maybe like over a decade ago. But yeah, pretty cool. I like that the cartridge is green, same with the Army Man one. Really cool color. Cool that I have this. I haven't actually played Rayman 2 yet though. Probably should at some point. This is probably my grandpa's. He was very big on sports games. Mike Piazza's Strike Zone. I don't really have much to say about that. Power Rangers Rescue. There's a funny story with this one. First of all, cool that it's a black cartridge. Second, so this is actually our cousin's copy, and there was this whole thing that we had back and forth where we kept passing each other the game. Where our cousins kept sneaking it into our house or into our stuff whenever we go visit them, and then when we go visit them, we would give it back to them, and it was like this whole thing. Because this game sucks. Let me just say, this game is really bad, and none of us wanted it, and yeah, unfortunately, I ended up keeping it because we haven't really seen them in quite a while. And then one of my favorites, Pokemon Snap. This is one I would put in my top 5. I won't say where, I'll reveal that near the end. But this might possibly be my favorite Pokemon game. I know it's a very weird thing to say, but I love this game to death so much. For me, it perfectly encapsulates just Pokemon, just as a concept, and like the creatures themselves. I absolutely adore this game. So much. I used to play it all the time. Here we have one I actually really like, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Really fun game, but oh my goodness is this game hard. It's so hard. But it's really fun. The music's great. Gameplay is fine. Yeah. I really recommend that game. This one I don't have much experience with, but it's pretty cool. Again, another black cartridge one. I think we got this. Yeah, I think we got this for only $1. It says right there on the back. WWF No Mercy. This is a very beloved title in the N64. I haven't tried it out much, but it is pretty cool. So getting this for $1 is pretty cool. Alright, so that's the first stack. So I'll go ahead and just go on a little tangent here. Yes, I'm going to talk about this thing for a sec. Yep, I am a defender of this thing. I'm sorry. I grew up with it, so I'm used to the way you handle it. I'm perfectly fine with the form factor. It fits my big hands pretty well. I've always been fine with it, just playing. Never really have much issue with it. I don't know, personally. I actually really like it. I love that it looks weird. It looks like a ship. Bananas or something. I've always loved it. And I like the little port here, which I don't have one on this controller right now. But yeah, I've always been a defender of this controller. I actually really like it. Okay, tangent aside, back to the stacks. Here we have probably one of the most beloved games on the system, GoldenEye 007. This is, yeah, one of my childhood games. I used to play this all the time, especially the multiplayer with my brother. Super fun game. Yes, the controls aren't the best. I know it can be a little weird, but I don't know, you can get used to it if you play for a little while. You're supposed to get in the flow of it, but I love the music, I love the aesthetics. It's a very fun shooter, and it's definitely super iconic. Should probably move this to the side here. Okay. This one, I remember I got this. Yeah, this has like a Blockbuster sticker. I didn't get it from Blockbuster. I got it from like I think like a video game retro store, probably like over a decade ago. This stinks. I only ever got like an hour or two into this, and it's so dull. It's boring. Apparently the Japanese version is a lot better because it's more complete, but yeah, I don't recommend this at all. It's one of the very few RPGs on the system, but I do not at all recommend it. This game I actually do recommend though. Toy Story 2. Very fun 3D platformer based on, of course, Toy Story 2. Yeah, this is my childhood version. I've never played any other version except recently I finally played through the PS1 version, and I beat that. I never beat this version. Really great game. I remember thinking much more fondly of it as a kid, but once I finally beat the PS1 version, it's like, it's not as fantastic as I thought it was. Really cool game though. Really solid. I want to get that Toy Story collection that was recently announced. This one, I think we got this for like, it says right there, really old sticker, $9. Oh my goodness. I think this might have been our cousins, if I remember. But anyway, Castlevania 64. My brother swears that this is like a masterpiece, like underrated classic. I played it for a little bit, and I didn't really jive with the way that it controls and looks and stuff. I have to give it another go, but this copy is pretty flimsy, and yeah, that's why. There's one thing that I will say: I'm not really particularly fond of N64 cartridges. I think, like, I don't know, their form factor, they're cute looking, they're like a little house, but I don't like that there's no spine for you to tell what it is. They're very prone to failure, much faster than Super Nintendo, NES, Game Boy, and all that stuff. So I've never been too fond of these cartridges, personally. Then this one is another beloved game. It is Majora's Mask, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I actually just recently played through this game all the way through for the first time last year, and I made a video about it if you want to go watch. But yeah, fantastic game. Unfortunately, I was a little filtered by the structure and progression of the game with like the day systems and you having to do some processes. Some of the masks didn't completely... Some of the masks don't do much. I don't know, there's a couple of things in the game that I just don't jive with, but it does a lot of stuff right, and some things even better than Ocarina of Time. So yeah, fantastic game, but I would probably have this in my top 10, but not top 5. But yeah, awesome game. This copy in particular freezes a lot, so I had to play it through the Switch Online to do it. This is just another one of my grandpa's sports titles, All-Star Baseball 99. The only reason why I keep these is because, again, they're my grandpa's and they have sentimental value to me because of that, so I'm never gonna get rid of them. I'm not into sports games, but you know, they have sentimental value to me. This one, I think this is also a rental sticker. I forgot where we got this, but I don't think it was that much. It's Jet Force Gemini. It's one of Rare's games. Again, I don't have much experience with this one, unfortunately, but it's pretty neat. I'll have to give it a full go, but pretty cool that I have this. This one is yeah, some of these are like really dirty and beaten up because they're like pretty old. Pretty sure I got this from a bargain bin, but this is Extreme G 2. It's a sequel to the first Extreme G, which is somewhere in there. I think this one doesn't actually work, so I've never we bought this and it never worked, so I was never actually able to tell if this is even a good game or not. Pretty funny. Then we have Tonic Trouble. I think this is also another one I got from some retro game store some years back. This is from the creators of Rayman, so Ubisoft. You can tell you have your limbless hero here, floating hands and stuff. Really cool game. I haven't actually really fully tried it out, but you know, it seems like an underrated game. Pretty interested in that one. And then a game that I poured so much time into, Xena Warrior Princess Talamins of Fate. I have never seen the source material, probably some clips, but this game, me and my brother poured hours and hours and hours into this game. Man, I love this game. It's so dumb as a fighting game, and Titus is usually pretty bad as a developer, but I don't know. I love this game. It's jank, it's slow, it's dumb, but I love it. It's so dumb. Okay, so now with that second pile out of the way, I'll go ahead and talk about some other stuff. The console itself. So, this is actually technically our cousin's 64. I did a very devious thing. I hope they're not watching this, but some years back, the last time that we visited them at their house, I switched this 64 with theirs because ours stopped working as well, but theirs was still perfectly fine, so I switched them. But guess what? Karma must have hit me because now the AV port doesn't work anymore. So I can't even use this thing. Like, the power still works, the power brick, but the AV, the video, does not work. So I actually can't even I can't even show you guys any footage on from the TV or anything. It sucks. And emulating 64 games suck. Even on the Steam Deck that I have, so I'm kind of out of luck, you know. Switch Online is like, or Switch 2 Online is like my primary way of playing some of these games nowadays, which is how I've played Majora's Mask. Anyway, third pile. I'm picking up two because we have 2 copies of Banjo-Kazooie. The reason is because this is the original. I can tell because some of the label got ripped off. And the new one that works, which probably doesn't anymore, I can't even test it, has the Rhino games. If you guys remember that old company, so this is the one that works, quote unquote. This is probably my favorite 3D platformer of all time. I actually made a video ranking all the worlds there if you want to see that. But yeah, I love this game to death so much. This is also in my top 5, but again, I won't say where until a little later. So yeah, there's that. We have 2 copies of that game because I love it so much. Then we have there's the first Extreme G. I actually quite like this game. It's pretty underrated. I wouldn't say it's great or anything. It's probably like a very solid like 7 out of 10 racing game. It's kind of fun. It has like a battle mode. There's items for you to use. It's fast paced. It's a fun little racing game. Underrated. I recommend it. Here is one of my favorite on-rail shooters ever, Star Fox 64. And funny that I mentioned this game since, you know, the remake on Switch 2 just came out. So funny enough that I'm talking about this here, but yeah, I absolutely adore this game to death. This is of course our childhood copy, and I think it still works, but again, can't test it. But yeah, this is another game that I've poured countless hours into. I adore it to death. This is the game that basically made me fall in love with like arcadey style games, high score chasing games, and that kind of stuff. Oh my god, this game's just, it's near perfect. I love this game so much. So yeah, this obviously this is another one in my top 5 for N64. Actually, wait, I should have been moving the top 5 games out of the pile. There we go. Get out of the way. Where is Pokemon Snap? Give me a sec. Alright, there we go. Now, funny enough, here's another one of my favorites. This is really underrated. I forgot where we got, I think this is a shouted copy of ours when I was little. This is Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. Oh my god. This is, again, one of the games that I poured some of the most amount of time to on my 64 back then as a kid. It's like top 5 Kirby games for me. I love this game so much. I love the atmosphere, I love the music, I love how you can combine moves, different moves with each other to create new moves. I love how it looks. I love the multiplayer modes, they're very fun. I think this is honestly just, oh my god. If you have not played Crystal Shards, please do. It is such a lovely game. It's technically a follow-up to Dreamland 3 on the Super Nintendo. It has the same director. So yeah, this is obviously another top 5 on the N64 for me. Yeah, okay, so here's the other Army Men game that I have. I guess it wasn't a green cartridge. Weird. I guess I remember wrong. But this is Army Men Sarge's Heroes. I think I actually did try this one a little bit, maybe. Can't be sure. But cool that I have 2 Army Men games on the N64. Why not? Okay, this one, I've been singing praises of a lot of N64 games, but I'll be real with you, I'll say something in a little bit. Here we have Tetrasphere. This is finally the first game on here where I don't really care about besides the sports games. Tetrasphere, I tried this out a few times. I could not care less about this game. Again, yeah, this is in some kind of retro store, got it for $5. So not bad. I don't care. It's whatever. It's a very whatever adaptation of Tetris. Very weird game. I don't really care about that one. Here's another game that I used to glaze to no end when I was little. Is Yoshi's Story. This used to be one of my favorite games on the N64, but I'll mention I'll expand on this a little later. But this is one of the games that I've kind of pulled back on with my glazing. I still think it's fantastic. I think it's really underrated. It gets overhated in my opinion, but it is a little weird, especially because this used to be considered Yoshi's Island 64 during development, so this is definitely like a follow-up to Yoshi's Island, and it does not live up to that game, but I still think it's really cool. Very weird, but there are some things that I'm not big a fan of the game. Okay. Now we have Mario Kart 64. Yeah, I don't know what was with us, so carving out like the middle part there. Maybe it was me when I was little. But yeah, this game is another one that I was like, oh my god, this is one of the greatest games of all time. I love this game so much. And again, another game that I poured countless of hours into. But over the years, you know, more Mario Karts came out. I much prefer Double Dash on the GameCube. So this is another one where I've kind of had a bit of a revisionist history for the worst for, but I still think it's a great game. It definitely gets overhated. It's still really fun, especially that battle mode. Oh my god, it's still really good. Okay. Now we have Pokemon Stadium, what I would probably consider my second favorite Pokemon game. Noticing a pattern here? Yeah, I really like the Pokemon spin-offs. I don't actually have Stadium 2. But yeah, this is another one I would probably put in my top 5. I absolutely adore this game. Another game that I poured countless of hours into. So much fun. I love the announcer. I love the combinations of Pokemons. I love going through like the gym trainers. The mini games are super duper fun. I just have endless fun with this game. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites on the system. Okay, so now that we got through that third pile, I'll go ahead and say the thing that I wanted to say before. So, the N64, look, I love this thing. I would probably put it like it's probably like a high B low A tier, but when I was a kid, I used to probably say that this is like my favorite system ever or something, before I got the GameCube, of course. But ever since I got the GameCube and the Wii and the Switch 2 and the Game Boy Advance, all that stuff, experiencing all those countless Nintendo games, and then I look back at this now all these years later, and yeah, a lot of these games just, you know, just I don't feel as strongly for anymore, or just don't care about. I don't know. I'm probably being a little too mean, but the library definitely doesn't hold up the best, but I think that it gets way too much hate in my opinion. That's just, I don't know if you guys agree. You probably don't. If you're younger, you probably do despise this console. I do get it. Like, I think the controller's overhated. I think the system's overhated. I think the library's overhated. But I get it. I understand where those people are coming from, because I also agree to an extent with a lot of their points. That's how I feel about the N64 now. It's a bit complicated. It was a big part of my childhood growing up, but over the years, I began understanding its flaws more, and I'm just like, it's not that fantastic. It's still really great. It is probably still like peak multiplayer console, like couch co-op or couch multiplayer ever. Like, I don't think the system can be topped with that, especially with the Mario Kart, with the Mario parties, Smash Bros. I don't even have that game anymore, Smash Bros. I really want to get that back. But yeah, let's keep going now. Little rant over about the quality of the system. This one unfortunately doesn't work anymore. I was able to test this before this stopped working some years back. Midway's Greatest Hits Volume 1. I don't think we actually ever got Volume 2 here. But this has Defender. Let's see if I can focus. It has Defender. What's that called? Robotron 20. I can't read that. It's very faint, but Robotron, Sinistar, Joust, Root Beer Tapper, and Spy Hunter. If you actually won't believe it, these Midway games are actually how I first experienced these arcade games. Like, a lot of arcade games, I first experienced them through compilations like this, and that's how I experienced Midway's classics. It was through this. And I actually used to have a lot of fun with this. I would pop it in a lot, and I'd be like, man, I love arcade games, they're so fun, and this is a big reason why. So I always have a fun, special place in my heart for that compilation. Next is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Awesome racing game. Not like, it's not stellar or anything, but it's really fun. I do like that there's a new Star Wars racing game coming out. Really cool. But yeah, this is an absolute classic, and it's actually really cool that it got brought back, and like, it got modern ports, which is really cool. Really fun racing game. I'd actually say it's better than Mario 64 in some ways. Okay, so next we have Perfect Dark. This was actually a recent pickup, so yes, I'm not done collecting 64 games. I do still want some 64 games. I get them every once in a while. This one I got a couple years back for only 17 bucks. Quite a steal, actually. This is by Rare, what people consider better than GoldenEye. I haven't actually played it yet, but really cool that I have this, especially getting it for quite cheap. I was surprised that it wasn't much more expensive. See, when it comes to every time I want to glaze a 64, a game like this starts crawling back. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, there's another game I got from some retro store for like $3. Very cheap. I tried it out a long time ago on this N64. It's garbage. It's true. Everything about the game is true. It's so bad. But you know what? I love that I have it. And it's so funny that it is one of the most pristine N64 games in quality that we have. It's so funny. But yeah, I think it's honestly essential. It's like a funny bit to have that game in your collection. This is another one of my grandpa sports games. This actually has a easy video from Bridgewater, New Jersey. I'm gonna check to see if this is still there. Probably still isn't. It's probably long gone, but yeah, Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. I'm kind of familiar with this one. It's actually quite heavy too. Weird. I think I remember watching my grandpa play that one. Getting near the end of the loose games. Then we have Banjo-Tooie, which the horrific color drain there. Probably Sunday. I don't know what that was, but yeah. This game is kind of infamous because it kind of adopted a bit of the Donkey Kong 64's problems with being a little too vast. People don't really like the backtracking that this game does. I think I'm kind of okay with it. It's a fantastic game, but I obviously much prefer Kazooie over Tooie. But I think the multiplayer is absolutely peak. It's definitely worth it, just for the multiplayer alone. But yeah, I still think it's a fantastic game. Oh boy, and we have the 64 game. You have to have this, you know. I'm actually quite surprised that our childhood copy is still this intact. No rips on the label. Cartridge has scuffs, but it isn't too bad. But yeah, Super Mario 64. What can I even say about this? It's still a fantastic game. You know, have Mario go to the 3D dimension. They did a fantastic job. It's still fun. My preferred way to play this game is on the 3DS port that was done several years ago. I honestly think it turns it out for the better. But yeah, sadly not a game I would put in my top 10, but it's still a really fantastic game. Oh, we have Mario Tennis, of course. You know, we had to have Mario Tennis here. Actually a great sports game. I remember having lots of fun with this game. I haven't played it in forever, but yeah, actually a pretty fun time, I would say. Surprisingly. It's kind of getting hard to reach the games back there. Then we have Glover. This got recently ported, right? Like a year or two ago. We got this from Rhino Games. There's a sticker. I actually quite like this game. I never beat it, but I remember enjoying what I played of it. I tried restarting it over and over and over and getting stuck in some level, so I always just drop it. But I don't know. I like the game. It's cool. And then we have last one here. I think this game doesn't work anymore. Can't tell what that writing is on the side. But this is one of, obviously you can tell again, the 64 is an early childhood system of mine, so of course either my mom or my grandpa got this game. Elmo's Letter Adventure. I used to have a blast with this game. In recent memory, I remember that that Vine Sauce video of the corruption. That was hilarious. But yeah, I used to have quite a bit of fun with this. So yeah, it's a baby goo goo gaga game, but it's a part of my childhood, so why not? So yeah, those are all my loose games. I guess I'll show my two complete in box games here. I got this 25 bucks from Yards, a Black Friday deal in a retro game local game store a couple years back. You know, buy two get third free. So pretty cool. It came in its own protective case, which is cool. Namco Museum 64. You know, it has Galaxian, Pole Position, which I've never been too much of a big fan of. Dig Dug, which is great. Galaxian's fun. Pac-Man's great. Miss Pac-Man is fantastic, and Galaga's great. So yeah, pretty cool collection. Skip college, become an arcade owner. I love that. This is great. So yeah, this is one of the only two complete unboxing 64 games that I have, because these things are really expensive, guys. Then we have, last but not least, Worms Armageddon. Oh my god, this game's crazy expensive, but it is not the original copy. It's a limited run one, which costed, I think, only 60 bucks for me. But yeah, this has like a brand new casing that I bought, like a pack of protective cases recently, so I can put this game in one. Pretty cool that I have this game, so I don't have to spend like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for it. I like Worms, it's pretty cool. And I heard that this is probably like the best one, so pretty cool that I have this complete unbox, you know, brand new. So yeah, that's my 64 collection. As you can see, it's quite extensive. No, I don't actually have Ocarina of Time, sadly. That's another one that I used to have as a kid, but I let one of my brother's friends borrow it, and then we moved away before I could get it back, and my my brother hasn't let me live that down ever since. Understandably so. One day I'll rebuy. We had the golden cartridge. So yeah, now that with that out of the way, I'll quickly do the top 5 here. Let me go ahead and order them. I'm actually shocked that I actually own my top 5. It's really neat. So, no, okay, scratch that. I actually don't own one of the games, but one of them is tied, so this is technically 6 games. Okay, starting with number 5, we have Pokemon Stadium, or Stadium 2. I don't have much experience with 2, but they're both practically the same game. They kind of offer the same, gameplay. As Stadium 2 has more Pokemon from Gen 2, but I kind of prefer aesthetically and the way it looks in the first game, so it's kind of a toss-up between both. So Stadiums 1 or 2 would be my number 5. Number 4 would be Pokemon Snap. Again, probably my favorite Pokemon game. Absolutely adore it to death. I have new Pokemon Snap on the Switch. You know how ecstatic I was that they brought back Pokemon Snap of all things on the Switch. Really cool. I still gotta play new Pokemon Snap. But there are still a couple more games I think it's better than my favorite Pokemon game. And that is number 3, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Again, one of my favorite Kirby games of all time. Top 5. I adore this game to death. I love the way it looks, I love the way it plays, I love the way it sounds, the atmosphere, everything about this is, it's honestly a near perfect game. I would just say that the game is a little slow. That would be kind of the detriment, and I do think that that some of the boss battles are a little obtuse, but besides that, oh my god, phenomenal Kirby game. Then we have number 2 is, of course, Star Fox 64. Oh my god, do I adore this game so much. Again, it's a near flawless game. It's such fast-paced action fun. The gameplay is just so fun. It's addictive. It's one of the most replayable games ever. So of course it's this high on my list. I'll always adore this game to death, and I really gotta try out the remake. I tried out the demo, and it's actually pretty fun. And then number 1 is a tie between 2 games because I always go back and forth between them. So just pretend that this second copy is the other game. So we have Banjo-Kazooie and Paper Mario. Again, pretend this is Paper Mario. So yeah, Paper Mario and Banjo-Kazooie are my favorite N64 games. I adore the games both to death. I would say maybe Banjo-Kazooie has a slight edge above it because it is my favorite 3D platformer ever, while Paper Mario isn't my favorite RPG. I would probably maybe put it in the top 20, which is flattering because I've played countless RPGs, but it's also not really my favorite Mario RPG. So I guess in that regard, genre-wise, Kazooie has the advantage. But again, I'm like, Kazooie's better? No, Paper Mario's better. No, Kazooie's better? Paper Mario 64 is better. I always go back and forth. But yeah, those are basically my number 1. So, do you like my top 5? What are your top 5? I would like to know. Comment below. And yeah, that's my collection of 64 games. I talked about some of my history with some of the games, my thoughts on like the controller, the system, how I think about it now. Like, yeah, it's a bit washed up. I don't think it's as fantastic as I thought as a kid, but it is super integral to my childhood, and I always feel very fond of it. Yes, I still think it's the king of couch multiplayer, and I always love the system, despite my little revisionist history that I've had with it over the years. Yeah, so that's the 30th anniversary of the N64. Did you grow up with one? Did you have you been experiencing it through the NSO, through emulation? Have you had one? Like, you know, leave a like, comment. I'd like to know some stuff about your N64 memories, or if you want to get into it. Did you see a game that you're interested in? Or do you have some recommendations for me? One game I actually do want to buy is this one. I really want this game so bad. I would say it's in my top 10. Fantastic game. Sin and Punishment. I recently got the Wii version, complete in box. But yeah, that's it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.